friends, and welcome to your November pick a card prediction. If you are not new to my pick a cards and you just want to go straight to the timestamps, let me just let you know this is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, and this is pile number 3. So if you already know how these work and you don't want to go through the candle intention setting part, because we're doing it as a group this month, if you don't want that, go ahead and head to your timestamp down below. If you would like to receive a candle blessing as well as a little bit more of a description, just stick with me for a little bit. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about this pick a card. So if you're unfamiliar with pick a cards, like I said, this is 1, 2, and 3. And the first thing I always like to let you know is you're never going to choose wrong. So no matter what, even if you always choose the same pile on everybody's pick a cards, it's always number 2 or number 1 or whatever, you're never going to choose wrong. That's your intuition telling you that that's correct for you. You're never going to choose wrong. You can always choose multiples. Some people like to listen to the entire video all the way through, and then they will choose the pile that resonates the most with them. Some people feel called to multiple piles, so you also might be drawn to 1 and 3 or 2 and 3 or 1 and 2. It's okay to watch multiple piles. The last thing I always like to remind you is that this is a generalized reading, so there are going to be some people that are going to resonate completely with every single pile, with every single message. And then there are going to be some people that maybe they're only here for the candle blessing. Maybe only a couple of the cards are going to resonate. Please remember that as I intuit these messages from spirits, I'm getting so many downloads and messages at the same time that I'm doing my best to filter through to get to the messages that you need. But like I said, for some people, it's going to be something really specific. And for some people, it's going to be the entire thing. So just keep that in mind that it is generalized. And now if you need some help choosing, what I always recommend is you can look at the timestamps for these down below in the comments or in the description box. And from there, sometimes your lucky number will be present, and that will really help you to decide. You can also say the numbers 111, 222, 333 over and over and over again until something feels like it's resonating. You can also meditate on the cards, which I will give you time to do after our candle blessing, and you can jump around in the timestamps for that too. So you can also meditate on the cards and make a decision that way. And let's go ahead and get into the candle blessing. So for this month's prediction, I really felt called to do a group candle. And the reason that I chose that is because I actually believe that when we manifest as a group collectively, our manifestations are even more potent because we're all wishing each other well. We're all wishing each other like our wishes to come true, right? We're all in this high vibrational state, or we're moving into this high vibrational state as a collective. So when we do that, we enhance everybody. It's like when you rise everybody else up with you. When you win, your entire tribe wins. So that's why we're doing this as a group today. So I want you now that we are using a white candle, and white candles do resemble universal. So you can use this for anything. If you want to manifest a relationship, a person, an emotion that you want to feel, more self-love, more confidence. Maybe you want to manifest business. Maybe you want to manifest $1 million idea, more money in your life, whatever it is. Maybe you're in a situation right now that you really don't like and you want to move from this situation and you just want a piece of the path to reveal itself to you. I'm hearing that for some of you, that might be something you're wanting to manifest right now. So just think of an intention that you want to bring into your life at this time. Go ahead and place both of your hands over your heart center, just right in the center of your chest. And just think about that intention for a moment. Really feel into it. Because when we connect with our heart center, that is actually the highest vibrational frequency that we as humans can connect with. So when you connect this intention to your heart center, you're making it even stronger. So we're going to go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth together, and just really breathe into that intention, all right? Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and light this for us. And what that's going to do as it burns out, so this candle is obviously a lot bigger because it's holding a lot of intentions for us. So this candle is obviously a lot bigger, but what that's going to do for us is I will burn this all the way out. I promise. It will go out on its own. I will burn it all the way down. And as I do that, what that's actually going to do for us is that is going to send that intention out into the universe for us. And so it can come back to each one of us. So I will say this, the candle flame is looking relatively average right now. It did start kind of strong. So I do feel that many of us are feeling really good about our intentions. Many of us are feeling like we can accomplish some things, but there might be a time over this next month where we kind of start to lose our drive for it. And I'm being told right now by Spirit, please don't give up on yourselves. Keep that internal flame ignited, because the candle didn't go out and it's still not going out. So that means that that intention still has potential for you. So don't let it go. Keep going, my friends. And now I'm going to go ahead and be quiet and allow you to meditate on the card piles and make a decision. So pile number 1 here, we have your cards. I'm going to go ahead and see what we have coming for you in the month of November. So right off the bat, we have the card of Strength. We also have the Page of Cups. We have the 8 of Swords and the Page of Swords. All right. So right off the bat, what this says to me, pile number 1 or group number 1, right off the bat, what this says to me is that you maybe have been going through a lot. The month of October maybe was kind of difficult for you. And I say that because I'm seeing a lot of really immature energy. Whenever we have a lot of pages come out in a reading, especially with the 8 of Swords as well, it's like there maybe are people that have been around you that are not really facilitating your highest good, especially with the Page of Swords. That is like a big, strong indicator of really immature communication. And to me, what that really says is there is somebody that just hasn't been, and I feel like the important thing to note is, number 1, people are not born, they're made. And I'm not telling you that you need to have sympathy for this person. That's up to your own discretion. I have no idea how they have treated you or what they have done. And I'm never going to be the person that supports victim blaming ever. So I do feel like I'm not here to tell you that you need to forgive this person or that, like, you know, what have you. They could have said or done some really horrible things. But what you need to remember is that people that have like this very hard exterior, or that come at you with immaturity or rude things, or they're not taking you into consideration when they speak, what you need to realize is people like them are not born, they are made. And more than likely, they have not been given that same grace, so they don't know how to give it. And it is just a projection of how they treat themselves. And honestly, this is a true story Spirit is asking me to share. When I see really ugly, nasty comments in the comment section of my video, it hurts my heart, but not because it hurts me. I have no problem. I can take whatever somebody's going to throw at me. That's not a problem. It hurts my heart because I realize how much that person is hurting. And I'm like, oh man, I really wish that I could change that for them, but that's also not my job, and it's not your job either. So I feel like either in October, this has already been something that's been happening for you, or in the month of November, this is something that's going to be coming up. Just people that are not holding you in highest regard and what you need the most. And the interesting thing is, though, is that we do have a balance happening, because we have the Page of Swords, but we also have the Page of Cups. And so to me, this is like somebody running at the mouth versus somebody who is a little bit more in tune with their emotions. So I feel like this very much represents you, and this represents the other person. So you would be the more intuitive person that's more in tune with yourself, and you have this Page of Swords energy that's just coming at you. Now, I want to remind all of you that we are still in the middle of Mars retrograde. Mars is going to go direct in the middle of November. So we will kind of get some alleviation, even though we'll be a bit in the shadow period. But I do feel that many people are running around as wounded children, wounding the world right now. We are seeing a lot of ugly uprise right now from our friends, from our colleagues, from our family members. We're seeing a great divide in the consciousness because that is what is being projected outward in mainstream media. You know, we're seeing a lot of this nastiness coming from all over. And I'm here to tell you, pile number one, that you need to trust yourself. You need to trust your intuition and look for the good, because that is really going to be your saving grace this month, because I feel like this month is going to get off to a very heavy start. And I say that because we have the Eight of Swords as well, representing you, as well as strength. And it is going to take great internal strength for you. And some of you also might be Leos, I'm hearing, because the strength card is representational of Leo. We have the lion present right here. But with the Eight of Swords, this is like you feel like you can't speak because everyone around you has a different opinion and everybody is just angry and fighting. And there's just a lot of contentment, and it's making you feel like you are not allowed to really speak yourself out into existence. And I'm here to tell you that that is all self-imposed. There might be people who are not going to agree with you, who do want to cut you down, but it's not your responsibility to cater to those people next month. It's not your responsibility to not be your most authentic self. It is your responsibility as a human having a human experience, a spiritual being having a human experience. It is your responsibility to shine at your highest, brightest capacity and to not let the haters knock you down. I mean, granted, that's easier said than done, absolutely. But don't let this bind you up. You have such a beautiful essence about you. And I do hear that you do have a spirit guide that is around you. I feel like with this Page of Cups, if you really personify with that, you do have a guide that is protecting your energy. And I don't feel like they're a humanoid type guide. Like they're not someone that looks like they have a human form. I'm really hearing that this is something that is like otherworldly, not in a bad way. Like it's not like an entity that's like evil, but this is a guide that maybe is an animal, potentially a dragon. I know that for some of you, you maybe have never heard that before and you're like, what the heck? But I'm hearing that this actually could be a dragon or maybe a snake or something that has that characteristic of like a very long body. So you do have a guide that is protecting your essence and your energy. So I feel like that's going to help you a lot the month of November. Now, we also have for you Chiron healing. We have Mercury communication. Oh my gosh. And we have Uranus revolution. So I feel like for you, pile number one, it's actually really imperative that you don't stay silent right now. It's very imperative the month of November that you speak your truth, because with Uranus and Mercury coming out, you have an important stake in this. You have, and I'm not even just talking about like the world events and the current events of November, but just in general, the way that the world works, period. You have thoughts and ideas, and you're part of this group of people that are ushering in change. Even if it's on a familial level, a community-based level, you are someone that is here to voice the change into existence. And so I feel that the month of November, because you have done so much work to heal, and honestly, pile number one, you need to really take a look at where you have been for all of this 2020, because I'm really hearing that many of you don't think that you are healed as much as you are. And many of you feel like you're just like this sad sack that has done nothing all of 2020. And I'm telling you, it's not true. You are someone that has done so much internal work. You've had time to really think about who you want to be in the world, about the person you'd like to present yourself as. You've taken the time to educate yourself. Mercury doesn't come to play. Mercury is the mind. So I feel like your mind, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, like the chills. Your mind has up-leveled in 2020, and you are at a new higher level of consciousness than you were previous to 2020. And so you need to, I want to cry. I feel like there are so many people around you that want to bash everything that has happened this year and just keep you in this lower vibration. But so many of you have risen above that. And you are in a place where it is so important that you speak your light into the consciousness right now, because we are literally at a revolutionary standstill. We are at a revolutionary point in the planet's energy field right now. And I hope that this is resonating with some of you. I feel like we are speaking on another level of consciousness right now. I don't know why this is being channeled through the way that it is. I don't know that I've done a reading like this before, but many of you have really truly up-leveled where you are. And it's so important for you to keep going. And it's so important for you to not, in this month of November, don't get me wrong. If you need to take some time away, you need to hermit it up, you need to draw back a little bit, don't be afraid to do that either. That's also going to be part of this for you in November, is making sure you take care of yourself, whatever that means. But do not allow other people to silence you. That's what you have. You have your truth and your voice and your mind. So, sorry, I'm okay. I'm feeling like an ugly cry. Right in my gut, y'all. I don't know which one of you is sending me that, but dang. Dang. Okay, so we also have happy. We have a change in the wind. I really think this November is going to be huge for you, in the sense that your lifestyle is going to be going through a major change. And it's going to be going through a major change because of choices that you've made. And this can't be for your betterment or to your detriment. This is your choice. You have the choice to make it what you want it to be. Sorry, I just realized that was cut off right there. You have the choice to make this what you want it to be. It's not like it's up in the air and the universe is just going to deliver you a shit pie. That's not going to happen. You have the choice to decide what it's going to be and what is going to shift for you this month. But there is major change coming. Do you see this tower on the back of this zebra? Straight up, it literally picked up this entire freaking tower and has moved. And we also have the number 12, which condenses down to a 3. Numerology number 3 is the creative number. This is about you creating the reality that you desire. You creating from a place of all of the healing work that you've done to decide what kind of reality you want to live in. This is going to be the month where you get to decide. You get to start painting the picture, because you've done, basically, I feel like October, for many of you that chose this pile, this was like the cleaning slate. In the month of October, you cleaned the slate for yourself, and now you get to move in a new direction. And I feel like it's going to be a good thing for many of you, because we do have the card of happy. You are going to be deciding what is in highest vibrational alignment for you and moving yourself accordingly. And you also, I feel like something that's going to really be helpful the month of November for you is really tapping into happiness as your natural state, because I feel like mainstream media teaches us that happiness is something that is to be achieved, when happiness is a choice. It's a choice to, so many of us let our feelings dictate the person that we're going to be every single day, when in reality, we get to tell ourselves how we're going to feel, and then we get to act on those feelings. You can change your frequency right now to match where you want to be. yes, it takes practice. Yes, it takes a lot of reprogramming your own subconscious. And let me know if you want a podcast episode on that, because that is something I'm considering. And actually, it may already be out, reprogramming the subconscious. I do have a video on my channel about removing limiting beliefs that I think you, pile number one, would really benefit from. It's literally called These 5 Things Will Remove Your Limiting Beliefs. It's on my playlist that is titled Up-Level Your Life. I think it's like the first video in the playlist. So, or it's either the first or the last, depending on how they're ordered. It might be the last in order, but go check that video out if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about with reprogramming the subconscious. But that is something that I'm hearing in November. If you haven't already done the work, you need to start working on that as well, because that is what is holding you where you are in this 8 of Swords up here. That is what is keeping you in this place of being basically put on by your own emotions and not taking control of them and saying, hey, it's okay to feel through these things, but this is not how I want to be every single day, So it's being gentle with yourself, but also giving yourself clear guidance. So the next 2 cards we have is the energy is gaining momentum and show the world the real you. I love this. I love this with Uranus, paired here with Uranus, or Uranus, however you say it, paired with Uranus, the revolution card. I really feel that this revolution energy, we're not going to see this stop. Literally, I don't think until clear through, I want to say it's like 2027, but I'm not telling you that, pile number one, to scare you. It's not meant to be a scary thing. This is a good thing. These huge, massive up levels that are happening on the planet Earth right now, they are meant to change our entire infrastructure and how we do things as a collective. That is what is bursting forth right now. However, I do feel that over the next, through this year, I think we're really going to continue to see some things, and through 2021, but continuing on, like, we are the bringers. If you are listening to this pick a card right now, we are the bringers of the revolution. And I literally got the chills when I said that too. I don't know, like, Spirit is like, you're here for this purpose. Like, no matter how small or how big you feel like your contribution is to that, we are the bringers of the revolution. We are the bringers of light. We are the bringers of change to how things have been done. And I really feel, pile number one, that the only thing you need to do is be yourself. That's literally going to be your biggest struggle the month of November, is being yourself. Because again, I feel like you're surrounded by people who don't understand that, because it's never been a way of living for them. And you're someone that is going to have to start showing them how to do it. So we also have, with the energy gaining momentum, that's what I was going to talk about. With Uranus showing up here, it's that energy is gaining momentum. We're going to see this hike up. We're going to see this kind of uprise in November of that revolutionary energy. And again, I'm not saying this because I'm trying to scare you or make you afraid of it. It's a good thing. And I feel like many people that talk about it, it's like there's this obsession, and I don't know why Spirit's telling me to talk about this either. Oh my gosh. This is not easy for me. I'm not going to lie to you. Being the messenger sometimes is difficult, because I know there's a lot of people that see my content that maybe don't always agree, and that's okay. You are so welcome to your own opinion. But I do feel that there is this weird obsession in the collective consciousness that is about normalcy. Like, there is this weird obsession with, I want to get back to normal. What is normal? Do we think that working in a society 9 to 5, not being with our families or our children, or being able to actually prosper is normal? Is that normal? Because I don't want that to be the normal, personally. I want everybody to feel like they are in their divine purpose and in the flow of their own life and doing what makes them happy and fulfilled. And that, my friends, is really what I believe we are moving into, is this way of being that is going to be better for everyone. And that's not on politics. That's not on, I'm not somebody that wants to be that kind of controversial channel. So I don't bring a lot of that into the things that I talk about. But also when we talk about the astrology and the messages and downloads that I'm receiving all at the same time, it falls into that. Not the politics, but it falls into the real world current stuff as well. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, but we have to remember that we have to honor that human side as well and what is going on in the 3D reality. So I feel like my readings lately have been all up in like the 4th and 5th dimension. And it's kind of stressful for me. I'm not going to lie. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to the upgrades that have come. But I just hope that this is reaching some of you and it's making sense. And I hope I just don't sound like a crazy person, because I feel like it's a lot. I'm receiving a lot. But I do feel that in the month of November, that's really going to be a big thing for you. So the major overarching themes, we have this revolutionary energy. So things might feel kind of tense and stressful. We have you being more of a communicator, you stepping into this role of communicating more with your communities, your friends, your family, and speaking your truth into existence and not shying away, being protected by one of your guides. And there's a huge wind of change that is coming for you in your life. And I mean that in the best way possible. This is not like a tower moment. I mean, there is a tower present, but it's not like the tower in tarot. It's a good wind of change, and you get to choose what that means for you. If it will, you reap what you sow. So if you're sowing beautiful things, then you're going to reap beautiful things. I hope that kind of puts that into perspective. And lastly, I have what gifts are you going to be receiving the month of November? And we have strength. So we have a reiteration of strength up here. You're going to be made stronger from a lot of what's coming for you in November. Absolutely. You're going to come out of it with a newfound sense of self, I'm really hearing. And you're going to really feel up-leveled in more ways than one, not just like your day-to-day life, but you're going to feel very up-leveled in even how you think. Like I'm really hearing that your mind is going to go through, like your mind is going through an expansion right now and through the month of November. We also have love. So those of you that set intention for a relationship, I feel like we're going to see a lot of conscious coupling coming up. People that are deciding to come together for the benefit of themselves and each other, not just to be playing out these karmic roles. It's actually going to be like good, substantial relationships. And we also have dreams. So I feel like many of you need to pay attention to your dreams the month of November, because some of them might be more prophetic. And also just dream fulfillment, because this is a time where you've wiped the slate clean and you're going to be coming into such a newness for yourself. Dream that into reality, speak it into existence. We just had Jupiter go direct, and I want to say Saturn direct as well. Don't quote me on that. Jupiter and Saturn direct though. And both of those are like, hey, work for it, speak it into existence. Let me give it to you. So that is what I have for you, pile number one. I know this was a really big reading. I feel like not a lot of people are going to pick one for some reason. Like I feel like it's going to be a little bit more specific for those of you that are really on that healing journey and that ascension journey, because I feel like that's really who I was speaking to. But thank you so much for your time. I love you so much. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Kloee Taylor. If you want to get any of the decks that you see here today, all of them are linked in the order that they appear down below. And if this reading resonated with you, helped you out, it is never an expectation, but always appreciated. I do accept tips on Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal, all linked down below. And I'll catch you in a future video. Bye. All right, pile number two. This is going to be what is coming for you the month of November. So let's go ahead and take a look. So right off the bat, we have the Chariot. We have the Hermit. Interesting. We have Queen of Pentacles. And we also have Death. All right. So Y'all, hold up. Let me just push these a little more over so we can see them all. All right. So y'all, I really got to tell you, first of all, for those of you that are employed or recently became unemployed, I really feel like you are going to be starting a business. And the reason that I say that is because with the Queen of Pentacles, this is about running a home and running a business simultaneously. The Queen of Pentacles is also somebody that really knows how to nurture and care for herself. I always look at the Queen of Pentacles as major Virgo energy. All earth sign mothers, though, like earth mothers, to be quite honest. But I do feel that you're going to be spending a lot more time at home. We also have the Hermit, which tells me many of you may also find that you are light workers. And I say that because I feel like the month of November, I am getting the collective message that many of the light workers of the world are going to want to hide themselves away because it's potentially going to be a very hectic, stressful time. And you just kind of want to vibe on your own, in your own space, doing your own thing. And I feel that many of you, first of all, please don't hide yourselves too hard. I know that it's so easy to get there and it's so easy to want to just be away, especially if you're highly sensitive. I have a whole video that I did on highly sensitive people. If you think you might be one, check out that video. If you think you are a highly sensitive person, though, it is so imperative for you to share of yourself. I know that it is something that is the most difficult. Believe me, I am highly sensitive myself. So I definitely understand the struggles of the highly sensitive person, but it's imperative that you do share of your light with others. But, protect yourself, keep yourself in your own vibe. With the Chariot, I feel like many of you are going to be planning and plotting for something really beautiful. This is why I said many of you might be starting online businesses or succeeding in business from home, because the Chariot is also about embarking on a journey and having all the tools that you need at your disposal to do it. The Hermit to me also says, if you're running a business specifically out of your home, I'm hearing not like at an establishment. Some of you, it could be at an establishment, but for most of you, it's at home. This is very representational of home energy, being at home. Some of you, I feel like, also might be like going to your hometowns during this month, which, I mean, it makes sense for a lot of people, at least in the US, which is where I am. Thanksgiving happens at the end of the month, so people might be going home. Many of you may be going to your hometowns, traveling to hometowns, or you're unable to travel and you need to be in your home. But I'm feeling like it could be travel home because the Chariot also is about travel. Now we do have the Death card present, and I never want anyone to get the wrong impression with the Death card. Yes, sometimes it can predict actual death, but most likely that is not the case here. Death is something that it's about deep transformation. And I feel like for many of you in the month of November, you are maybe going to be visiting people at home or having like virtual Thanksgivings or doing something that's it puts you in a state of mind of being at home. But I feel like many of you have gone on like the hero's journey. And the hero's journey, if you don't know anything about that, it's like basically you go on this long epic journey. But then when I'm getting goosebumps as I'm talking about this, so it must be true. When you return home from the hero's journey, it's never the same. Like you can't go home and be the person that you were originally. It's like you've seen too much, you've experienced too much, you've expanded so much. I feel like the month of November actually is a huge month of expansion for the collective because pile number 1 also talked a lot about expansion. But with death, it's like you're such a different person. There's so much that has transformed in you in the year of 2020 that it's just not like it used to be. And you don't like want to engage in the same conversations. You don't want to, I feel like it's going to be kind of a hard transition if I'm honest with you. I feel like many of you also may be dealing with maybe a mother that is just driving you crazy in the month of November. A mother figure, the Queen of Pentacles can talk about a mother figure, and maybe going through a transition within that relationship that kind of leaves you just kind of seeing each other differently. Now, moving on to the next few cards, pile number 2, we have the 9th house, which love to see it, honestly. We have Mars, action, and we have the 12th house. So I've been talking about this on my channel for a while, but we are currently, as this is going live, in the middle of Mars retrograde. Mars retrograde stops in November. It goes direct in November. Mars doesn't stop, but it goes direct in November. So about mid-November, we're going to have Mars direct. And I feel like for many of you, this is going to be that fire under your ass that you really needed to get going on something. If there's a project you've been wanting to launch, to do, to complete, to launch out into the world, this is going to be the perfect time for that to happen. So especially with that Mars energy, you may also feel that you're just ready to fight someone towards the beginning of November, and then mid-November, you might see that kind of change. Because I feel like during Mars retrograde, it's like picking at old scabbed over wounds and not like we're picking them over so they can heal differently, basically. And so when Mars goes direct, you're going to start to see, I feel like, where those things are actually healing. And with the 9th house does correspond to the Hermit. So the 9th house deals in faith. I always talk about this whenever we see a number 9 somewhere that is significant. Sagittarius rules the 9th house, and the 9th house is about having faith. It is about like wisdom, and the Hermit also is about wisdom. Like you're hiding yourself away a little bit more because you know better. You have more wisdom, and because of that wisdom, like you're not going to argue with a fool, basically. So I feel like many of you are on the end of like, I know better, my higher self knows better, and I just like, I maybe do want to fight you, my ego wants to fight you, but it's not worth it, is kind of what I'm hearing. And with the 12th house here, many of you are going to be closing out old patterns. I feel like pile number 1 definitely went through more of like, they kind of did this in October and now they're starting up a revolution. But pile number 2, if you chose this pile, I feel like you're still closing out old chapters. Maybe it's taken you a little bit longer to get to where you are. And it's not even that like you're behind, because you're not. It's that you have really taken the time to really dissect and really feel through things with this deep transformation that's coming in the month of November for you. So if there's something that's really been on your heart that's been hurting you, or a relationship that's been not good for you, or a situation, I want you to really have faith in the fact that this is going to change for you in November. Like, I really feel like many of you, it's going to be about mid-November when this will happen because of that Mars direct. But whatever has been hindering your progress is going to kind of like flip over like a light switch, is what I'm hearing. And you're going to be closing out this miserable parts or things that just haven't been working. You're going to be really closing it, because the 12th house is dictated by Pisces. Pisces rules the 12th house, and Pisces is also the final sign in the zodiac. So it's the end, right? It's the final house that we would phase through before starting back at 1. So something else that's coming out, how funny. With 12, 2 and 1 condenses down to 3. That was also in pile number 1. That's funny. 2 and 1 condensed down to 3, which is the creative house. I feel like November is going to be a wildly creative time, as well as a major time of expansion. And you're going to be creating new things into your reality during the month of November that are going to materialize a lot faster than normal. For some reason, pile number 2, I'm feeling like there is this like urgency to it. Like things are going to be moving really fast, especially with Mars. Mars is a fast acting planet. Now for you, we also have the Fates. Love this card. One of my personal favorites. We have the Fates, and we also have a leg up. Ooh. All right. So I feel like for you, pile number 2, with the Fates, this is literally fated destiny. Like there are things that are lining up so well for you in November. It has been fated for you for it to happen. So I want you to really pay attention, number 2, with the people that you come into contact with in November, because I feel like there is a faded connection. Now, this could be a romantic connection, but even in terms of friendships with business partners, maybe a family member you're going to start to see in a different light, but there is something faded for you in the month of November that I really think is going to be a positive shift. It's actually going to give you a leg up in whatever you've been working on. You're going to meet the right person that is going to further what you're doing, or you already know them and something that they say is going to spark something for you in a good way. So really pay attention to anybody you meet or anybody you talk to in the month of November, because I really feel like I'm also hearing for some of you, you need to start carrying like a journal or maybe just the notepad on your phone if that's easier for you, and start jotting down ideas, because I feel that many of you are going to have this big idea and it's going to come because it is something that is fated for you. Elizabeth Gilbert, she's an author. She teaches in her book, Big Magic. She actually talks about how creative ideas they're just looking for a host. And so you might have the $1 million idea, but it's up to you to act on it. And if you don't, that idea will find another host. So really pay attention to the ideas you have. And if you see something, hear something, feel something, act on it immediately, because if you don't, that idea might move on to someone else. So this is why you see things in the universe where two people will have something very similar. It is my personal opinion that unless you literally plagiarize something from someone, like if somebody took my video and re-uploaded it, that would be complete plagiarizing, right? That would be stealing. But two people can have the same thoughts, the same ideas, the same what have you, because of this rule in the universe, because of this this ability for creative ideas to kind of flow. And so to me, I don't even believe in copying. I actually think that many of us, A, we all learn from each other, and B, that same idea can float to different people. So if you act too slowly on it, there's a chance that it will bypass. So make sure you're really paying attention, because it's going to be something really good. It's going to give you a leg up. And we also have for you, confidence is your key to success. Love to see it. And we also have you and your loved ones are safe with new moon in Cancer. So this is new moon Leo, new moon Cancer. And I feel like for many of you, this month in November might be very family focused, because you and your loved ones are safe. That might just be a message that you need, period. Maybe you've been going through something really difficult, something I'm hearing with like court. You need to know that you and your loved ones are safe. Things are going to be okay. For some of you, I know that's very specific, but you and your loved ones are safe this month. Like, don't feel like you need to fear things from the outer world. Really take everything up into the home, whether that is internally or in a physical home space, and just know that you're safe and protected. And with confidence is your key to success, it's kind of just that. I mean, take on the personification of Leo, right? Leo is the most confident sign in the zodiac. They exude a lot of self-love. And so when we talk about this confidence being your key to success, I feel like especially with these ideas, many of you are going to have this great idea this coming month, and you're going to feel like, who am I to make something with this? Or I don't have the right tools, or I don't know the right people. And you're going to start to doubt yourself. I need to tell you, like, write this down if you need to. You are the perfect person. The idea would not have come to you if it was not meant to be fulfilled by you. What is desired by you is destined for you. Manifestation Babe on Instagram. Look her up. She's great. What is desired by you is destined for you. The fact that you even desire it means that it's already a potential reality for you to exist in. So who are you not to be? Who are you not to be bold, bright, beautiful? Who are you not to put this idea out into the world? And if you feel like you need help, if you feel like you need guidance or assistance, or you need to learn something, do it. Commit to it. Go online and look up what you need to do. Make a checklist of the things that you need to do to get there. Start with a brainstorm, right? All it takes is one step every day. Do you think authors sit down and write a book in a day and hand the manuscript off? No. They make a committed practice to writing several times a week or every single day, depending on what they decide to do for themselves. So it's the little things that add up to the big picture. And the idea wouldn't come to you if you were not an ideal candidate for the idea to come into the universe. And all you have to say is, my spirit team, God, my guides, whatever that is for you, help me to bring this idea into reality because I know it's a winner. It's a banger, okay? Kloee Taylor said, I'm going to have an idea this month and it is going to be a banger. So whatever that idea is, it came to you because you are meant to be the person who fulfills it. So who are you not to be? Just remind yourself that when those thoughts of self-doubt creep up, who are you not to be? All right. And the last 3 cards I have for you are blessings coming to you this month. We have blessed. So you are truly blessed this month. I feel like this is, even though we have a lot of transition and maybe a lot of shutting in for you, it is truly going to be a blessed time. It's going to be a time where you feel safe, protected, creative. Things are working out for you. Literally repeat that mantra to yourself. Everything is working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. You are truly blessed by the universe this month. We also have creativity. As we've been discussing, you're going to have a really big creative spark this month. Your creativity, I feel like, is going to be at an all-time high. So really embrace that creativity. And we also have kindness. So I feel like for you, pile number 2, definitely make sure that you hit up anybody you know that chooses pile number 1, because I think they need your kindness. There's definitely a lot of not kindness, I think, coming for pile number 1. So if you know anybody that watches my videos and they chose pile number 1, make sure you give them some of your kindness, because I feel like people are going to be being very kind to you. You are not going to accept any less. I feel like many of you that chose pile number 2, like, you also know your worth, and you're not afraid. Like, it's like when respect stops being served at the table, you're not afraid to pick up and go eat alone. Like, you know that you deserve kindness, and so kindness is going to be reflected back at you. So I love all of this for you, pile number 2. I hope this message resonated with you. I look forward to hearing about how your November goes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Kloee Taylor. If you want any of these decks for yourself, all of them are linked down below in the order that they appear. And if this reading resonated and you should feel so called, it is never an expectation, but always appreciated. I do have my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal listed down below. I do accept tips for my readings, so thank you so much to those of you that feel the need to do so. I really do appreciate it. And I love you so much, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye. Hello there, pile number 3, and welcome to your November predictions reading. I feel like pile number 1 and 2 were kind of intense, so let's see what pile number 3 has got going on. November, I think, is just going to be an interesting month for us. So first and foremost, we have the 10 of Wands. We have the 5 of Swords. We have the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Wands. Okay, so right off the bat, what this tells me, pile number 3, is that y'all cannot catch a damn break. I feel like in maybe even parts of October, like, you might be feeling this now, but y'all have not been able to catch a break, because with the 10 of Pentacles, you're doing too much, you've taken on too much, you're working too hard. And with the 5 of Swords coming out, like, you're fighting everyone too, and everybody's fighting you. And the 5 of Swords is also about, like, competition. I feel like there's going to be a big turning point in November for you, though. Whatever you've been working on, I feel like many of you have been looking to other people who have created the same thing because you want that thing for yourself. And you've kind of looked at other people potentially as competition. But I feel like in November, there's going to be a turning point where you become your own personal competition. And I say that because with the 8 of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands, this is great. Like, you go from this place of like, the world is against me. Why is this happening? I've worked so hard to get where I am. Why am I not getting anywhere? Why is everybody else getting the things that I want? And you move into this place of, nope, I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to work on what I need to do for me. And you're going to be rewarded for it, because the Eight of Wands is fast, rapid opportunity and action. And I do want to tell you that we do have Mars going direct the month of November. So I do feel like that is going to kind of supercharge a lot of your efforts. Eights also correspond to the 8th house, which is Scorpio's house. November is Scorpio season. In sidereal, we will hit Scorpio season, so I do feel like there's definitely going to be like your hidden gifts are going to start being more exposed to you in a good way. I'm also hearing that many of you might actually be Scorpio risings. I don't know why all y'all come out in my readings so much, especially in sidereal. Many of you might be Scorpio risings, and it's like you've kind of gone through a lot the month of October, because if you are a Scorpio rising, and even if you aren't, this still could apply. But the month of October, you would have been going through your 12th house transits, and the 12th house is the final house. It's the house where you kind of go internal and you rebalance things, especially for Scorpio, because it would be during Libra season. So you would be going internally to like rebalance, refocus, collect yourself, and come back out in your first house in Scorpio during the month of November, where you are front and center attention. So I do feel like there is this big shift happening for you in the month of November, where part of it, before we hit that Scorpio season, you might feel a little bit of this like remnants of this, but it's going to move into a very productive way of being for you. And you're actually like, because like you're going to be basically rethinking. And now this is where it kind of applies to everyone too, not just y'all Scorpio risings. We've just come out of Libra season. Libra is the balancer, the balancing scale. So you've kind of already reformulated your method, and now you get to actually get to work. And I don't feel like you're going to be sharing a lot of this information, because in the month of November, because that is Scorpio season, it's very like Scorpio rules the hidden house. The 8th house is the hidden house. So I feel like a lot of the things you do, it might be more in secret. You might be moving in a more secretive way before you put it out. No matter what that is, if you're working towards like a promotion at work, if you're working towards changing something in your family dynamic, if you're working on your own mental health, I'm also hearing for many of you just creative endeavors in general or school projects. You're kind of going in and redoing the system, and you're doing it in a more secretive way. Not to be like sneaky or anything. It's just you're keeping it to yourself until you're ready to share. But I feel like when you do, it's going to be a very powerful thing. It's going to really like open other people's minds to some different stuff. It's going to be like very boss. To me, I'm hearing like boss energy. I don't know. Now we also have Venus, love for you. We have the moon, feelings. I'm wondering if some of you are also Scorpio moon placements. And we also have Capricorn, the boss. Oh my gosh. I swear to you, I don't look at these before I read them. So when they come out like that, I'm shook. But with this boss energy, that's what you're becoming, is really the boss of your own life. And that doesn't mean that you don't work for another company. You can still be a boss in a company. It could also be about being your own boss. I also feel like many of you are going to meet many of you have either met during Libra season, or you're going to meet someone, because Libra season does still trickle into, I want to say does it trickle into November a little bit? I don't have the exact dates, but even still, you can still feel the effects for a little bit of that transition too. But Libra, because we've just come into that prior to this month in October, Libra is like romance, because Libra is Venus ruled. So I do feel like there is potential that somebody got y'all in your feelings, that either you're meeting somebody that is a potential partner, or maybe you're having some feelings about somebody you thought you were just playing around, but you caught some feelings. But I feel like there's definitely a big love interest vibe here. And I feel like many of you that chose this pile, maybe you haven't even been looking for it. That's always when it happens, I swear. When you stop looking for love is when it actually shows up. So I do feel that many of you will be making some kind of a new bond in November. Maybe something will get more serious. Like there might be a marriage proposal coming, or an actual marriage could have just happened or is about to happen. I feel like many of you are committing to someone or something. I'm also hearing that many of you are just going to be really taking better care of yourselves in the month of November. And so that's going to give you like a boss up energy, because you can give to others so much better when you are giving to yourself first. And with Venus and the moon, those are both representational of giving yourself love and allowing yourself time to feel through things. So I do feel like because you're filling your own cup, you will also emerge from this in November in a positive way. Honestly, I feel like there's a really big transition for you, pile number 3. We have this energy of working really hard, being burnt out, but then succeeding. And I feel like it's because of these things here. So I really do love that for all of y'all that chose pile number 3. I feel like it's just it's just a really good look. It's a good outlook. We've got some good stuff coming for you in November. And now I do want to say there might be in the month of November, when the moon is present, the moon also, especially in tarot, can talk a lot about things being hidden as well. And because we kind of talked about things being hidden up here, into Scorpio season, I do feel like for some of you, commitment, you might be kind of scared of it, scared of like the next thing. And you maybe have hid away how you actually feel about something, but you're going to be getting to the bottom of it. I don't know why that was such a specific message coming out for some of you, but there we are. Now we also have breathe. I think many of you are going to be like refocusing in November and recentering. And we have higher power. So I love actually both of these cards, because with higher power, this obviously, it's about trusting in a higher power, trusting in something beyond you. Now, even if you are someone that is atheist, does not believe in anything beyond you, totally acceptable. I 1000% support you. But I do feel like we all still have like a higher version of ourself. And I feel like it's you that is going to be connecting with that. You're going to be feeling through it, giving more to yourself the month of November, and actually taking time to breathe. I'm hearing that some of you will also be getting into like breathwork courses, or even just doing breathwork like on YouTube. I don't know why, like not necessarily, well, you could be teaching it. I mean, if that's like the boss level of you going into that, but I do feel that many of you are going to be like trying out breathwork for the first time, or continuing something with breathwork, and really feeling into that divine creative source energy, because the breath actually is the life force. It is the life force that like gives so much to us. And that's why in like yoga practice, the breath is so important. It's almost to me more important than the poses even are, is connecting with the breath, connecting with the life force that fuels all of us. And it also helps you to connect with a higher power. So I'm also hearing many of you going through Scorpio season are actually going to be making connections with your guides. Those of you that have felt stifled or blocked, or like you couldn't access them, many of you are actually going to be strengthening that connection and meeting your guides. Finally, I'm hearing finally for some of you, like you've been waiting so long for this moment, and it's finally going to happen. And it's going to be through that breath connection. So those of you that are wanting to make those connections to your guides, really hone in on practicing breath work, really hone in on becoming still with the breath. And the next two cards I have for you, pile number 3, is it's time to release negativity with the full moon in Scorpio, which we won't be having a full moon in Scorpio. We'll be having a new moon in Scorpio. But that is something that Scorpio can help us do, because I feel like Scorpio is one of those signs that it's really misunderstood. You know, we have like that stereotypical, oh, Scorpio is so jealous, they're so vindictive, they're this, they're that. And I gotta tell you, as a Scorpio rising myself, she is offended. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not actually offended, but there is this weird stereotype with Scorpio that really talks about like all these negative attributes. And Scorpio actually brings a lot to the table, as we all do. Scorpio is one of the most deeply passionate, deeply compassionate, and deeply felt signs of the zodiac. They bring this deep level to me of loyalty. Now, Taurus, obviously the sister sign of Scorpio, is very loyal, but I feel like Scorpio takes loyalty even beyond that. I don't even know why sometimes, like, I feel like people sleep on the loyalty that a Scorpio will give you. Like, especially with like, I feel like Taurus is the one that's always known for being loyal, but people will be sleeping on Scorpio, okay? So the thing I want to say though is Scorpio can definitely hold a grudge, but I feel like that is the lesson of Scorpio, is it's to let those things go, to learn through that grudge that we have to let go. We have to move forward, put the negativity aside, and actually be kinder and gentler to ourselves and those around us. And I really feel that that's going to be a major theme coming for you in November, especially with the energy of the collective for the month of November. It's a little bit of an intense time. I'm not going to lie to you about it. It's definitely a very intense energy. And I feel like pile number 3, if you chose this pile, you are going to be the people that hold more compassion. You are going to be the people that are more understanding. You are going to be the people that want to hear both sides of every single argument, because you've already done it. You've already done the chaos. You've already chosen the sides. You've already seen what it's been like to not be understood, to not be listened to. And so you recognize this month that you are the person that has to give to receive. And so I feel like you're really going to be letting go of a lot of the old negative mindsets that you've been holding on to. And also letting go of people that I feel like just are not in higher alignment with you. Now, we also have you are good enough with the full moon in Virgo. And I really love when this card comes out, because every time that I see this card, I always know that whoever chose this pile, you needed that message. You needed to hear the words, you are good enough. Whatever you've been working on, whatever you've been doing, whatever you've been creating, whatever you've been fighting for or about, it doesn't matter. You, at your natural state, being yourself, are good enough. You're a great mom. You're a great dad. You're a great daughter. You're a great friend. You are a great cousin. You're a great aunt. You're a great, whatever, uncle. You're a great partner. You are good enough at your natural state. Doesn't mean you have to do anything to earn somebody's love. You don't have to do anything to be so loved also by the divine. I feel like also many of you, going back to that connection with your spirit guides that you're going to be obtaining this month, many of you are like scared. You're scared that your guides don't appreciate you, or they think that you're weird. And I'm here to tell you that they have such a deep love and understanding of you and for you. You are good enough. You don't even need to question it. And my cat Meaties is coming out to also tell you. I'm sorry if you can hear him meowing. He just woke up from a nap. He is my Gemini son. You can't keep him quiet even if you try. And the last 3 cards I have for you, pile number 3, are the gifts that you'll be receiving the month of November. Meaties, it's not a good time, baby. His name's Archimedes, and we call him Meaties. You've seen him if you watch my vlogs. I show him in the vlogs. He's a silly boy. But the last 3 things I have for you are confidence. So you will be gaining more confidence in yourself in the month of November. We also have the card of hope. I feel like many of you've kind of lost hope and faith in your ability to create and be the person that you want to be. And this is the month that you're going to be reigniting that and reestablishing that. And you're going to be gaining a belief in yourself again, because I don't think you've had it easy. It's been hard for you. And we also have tranquility. So your peace is also going to be restored. And I love that. What a beautiful message so confidence in your ability, hope in yourself, and also peace and tranquility to match all of it. So especially connecting with the breath, I feel like with the peace and tranquility, that's where a lot of the peace is going to come from. So I hope this message resonated with you, my beautiful, pile number 3. Please know that you are so loved. And also please know that if no one has told you yet today, I believe in you, I support you, I love you. Thank you for being here. I believe in anything you want to create in the world. You are so beautifully, divinely loved. And I promise you that you are never on the wrong path. You are always on the right path for yourself. Even if it feels like you've made a misstep, you're always in the right place at the right time, learning the lessons that you need to learn to get to the next level. And I love you all so, so, so much. And I will catch you all in a future reading. Please do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Kloee Taylor. If you like any of the decks that you've seen here today, they are all linked down below for you in the order that they appear. And if you should so choose and you feel called to and you are able, it is never an expectation, but always appreciated. I do have my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal listed down below. I do accept tips for my readings. Again, it's never an expectation, but I really appreciate those of you that have done that. And I will catch you all in a future video. Bye.